Yo. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make an unraidable base on the donut SMP, tips and tricks, and also where to make your base. Stay tuned and make sure you like and subscribe. And also join the Discord, link in the description. Before we start the video, I'd like to say that I'm trying to reach 10k subs by the end of the year, and I'd be really appreciative that if you could do so. So please consider subscribing, and let's get on with the video. Okay, so before we actually find a spot to build our base, we have to first RTP. I recommend building it in the overworld instead of the end or nether, as the pie chart does not work as well, and also the fact that there are cheaters in the nether. Now we have to decide about what region to build it in. I recommend to build it in either of these two regions, being NA West or EU West. These are better than NA East or East Central, as a lot of people search and play on those regions, and the border is also pretty big. Once you have RTP'd, it is important to look at these three things. One being human activity, like that pole and these dugout areas like so. Another thing is whether there is a ocean / good place to dig down. And lastly, it is your coordinates. As you can tell by the three things I stated earlier, that this spot is not really good for a base. And it is important you recognize this so you don't build your base in a bad spot like this and lose all your precious valuables like your spawners and your farms that you spent hours to build. Okay, so I RTP'd again, and yet again there wasn't a really good spot to make my base. There wasn't an ocean and the coordinates weren't great. Well, what are great chords, you ask? Well, here is how to tell. There are two ways for coordinates to be good for your base. One, either they're really far away from spawn, or two, they're really odd / unique coordinates. The first one is self-explanatory, but the second one is for the more experienced base finders that explore only in the coordinates that are really far away from spawn. I then RTP many times until I found a spot that I was happy with. This spot had alright chords alongside an ocean with not much player activity, and I decided to use this for the video. I then crafted a boat to travel, and I did this to help the people that don't have an elytra and still need to find a good place to make their base. Although I said an ocean is a good spot for making your base, it is also important to not make your base under a kelp ocean. This is because if you load in the chunks for a long time, the kelp will grow to the surface of the ocean, and that will cause other people to see that the kelp is overgrown and eventually find your base. Good oceans to build it under are the warm ocean that has no kelp, so more like the coral ones, and another one is the iced or like the frozen ocean with like packed ice at the top. I then went on a voyage, and eventually I found a good spot to make a base, and then I decided to dig down. It is important when digging down to use a silk touch pickaxe so you can fill up the blocks that you've dug when you're going downward. As you can see here, I'm replacing each block with the exact block that was there before I started digging down. I dig and eventually run into this big cave, and then I basically explore the cave until I found a good spot to dig down again. Here is something important about making your base, and this is related with the way you place your deep slate. So you have to look at the bottom or the top of a block when you're placing your deep slate, or else it will look like in a different texture than the rest of the deep slate. So make sure you keep this in mind when you build your bases. Here, I finally found a good spot and I'm at a good Y level, so I decided to dig the space out for my base. I also like to use the command F3A to see if there's any caves around. As you can see here, you can see some amethyst and also a mine shaft near me. Here is a time lapse of me digging this out. And now that I am digging, let me quickly explain what the pie chart is. So essentially, the pie chart is basically like a graph that shows you what entities / block entities are in your render distance. And knowing this, there are some things you need to be mindful of putting in your base, as it can make it easier for raiders to find it. Okay, so this is the pie chart in game, as you can see in the bottom right. You can get this by pressing F3-1 or Shift F3. When you first open the pie chart, it should be looking something like this. And to configure it into the block entities, you need to click on the number next to the word, and the first word is going to be tick, which is going to be the number 6 for me, although it can change for everyone else. The second word is going to be level, which is number 2 for me. And finally, the third one is going to be block entities, which is number 3 for me. Now that you've gotten it configured, this is how it works. So here I placed the chest, and as you can see, a Minecraft colon chest appeared on the pie chart. And now that I break it, it will disappear. There are multiple block entities that will show up, and it includes the following: an ender chest, a working jukebox, a enchantment table, a shulker box, a piston that is activated, and also a spawner. And now finally, for tips after you've found a spot and made your base: 1 is to never leak the bedrock, of course, and 2 is to never leak your deep slate, tuff, or any ores. If other people see your ores or tuff, people can use highly hard math to calculate where your base is, and you don't want your base to get leaked. A good way to prevent other people from seeing your bedrock or tuff is by using a resource pack. The resource pack can also help you if you want to sell your base either in game or on a Discord server. Speaking of Discord server, I also own a Discord server where you can get the resource packs, and we also have an elytra giveaway going on right now. The link to join will be in the description. Here at my base, I also left a loot box for whoever wants to get it first. Here, there's some totems, some experience bottles, some banners, some diamond blocks. We also have 2 enchanted golden apples and 2 pig spawners alongside 1 cow spawner. So whoever gets here first will get all of the loot. Here are the coordinates, and the region of this base is NA West. Good luck. So thank y'all for watching the video. I hope this video can help y'all make a better base, and so it doesn't get raided in the first couple of days, and you can keep your valuables and farms and you don't get raided. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe, and see you later.
2 maids, 1 belt.
That one's dead.
Both.
Brother.
1 enemy remaining.
No one else could do this?
I'm the GOAT! I'm the GOAT, dude!